How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews back with a little bit of Iron Hill up in this piece in the form of their Philly Special IPA. Yeah, Philly Special. We all know what that is, right? The Super Bowl where the Eagles beat the Patriots. Yeah, so it's kind of fitting. A New England hazy, I assume, from Philly. Let's see what's what. What is it? What's written in here? This hazy IPA. Let's start over, so we say this correctly. This hazy IPA. Okay, this is going to be third time's a charm. Second time, third time's a charm. This hazy beer may be considered a New England IPA, but is inspired by pure Philly. Brewed with flaked oats and wheat, this beer features tropical fruit and resinous pine notes, almost as intense as your passion for the home team. Whether you're cracking one open at a tailgate or in your living room, you can just taste the brotherly love. Yeah, and by that means, you know, throwing batteries at Santa. This is canned a while ago. Iron Hill sent this to me. Iron Hill, for those that don't know, is they're like a traditional old school kind of brew pub, but they have multiple locations. There's a weird twist on what they do, in that they actually make good beer. I know that's kind of weird. You know, a lot of these traditional old school brew pubs really focus on kind of just, I don't say they don't focus on beer, but they tend to be, you know, a restaurant that happens to brew beer. Iron Hill seems to be more of a brewery that happens to serve food in a brew pub environment. Because, again, limited exposure, but I would say I've had maybe about 5 or 6 of their beers so far, and they've all been really, really good. So I'm kind of looking forward to this. And this is brewed from their brewery and restaurant in Wilmington, Delaware. I believe that's their base of operations. But they just opened a place not too far away from me in Exton, close to Philly. So I think that's the reason why this beer came out. So you're talking about $9.29. So you're talking about that is September, and then we're going September, October, November, December. 3-month-old IPA. Yeah, almost 3 months old. Short one day. Let's put it that way. So it's interesting when breweries send off stuff that old. I think a brewery should be able to make an IPA that stands up to 3 months, no problem whatsoever. So I'm not going to poo-poo on it. I look at it as a positive. You know, a brewery sending off a beer that's 3 months old, a hazy New England-inspired IPA that's full of Philly. Good on you guys, because you're just saying, hey, our shit holds up. That's basically what I feel. 6.7%. That's it. Label-wise, I'm not gaga for it. You know? It's kind of just a mosaic of a bunch of Philly kind of things. You know, a little Don't Tread on Me stuff. You got a little Philly stuff, a little Eagles stuff, a little basketball, a little Liberty Bell, a little boxing. Yeah, it is what it is. Not my favorite label. Let's put it that way. That looks like a nice hazy, man. It looks like a nice, bright, summery kind of hazy. It's almost 2 fingers, infinite creaminess. Serta ain't got nothing on top of that fucking beer. You can sleep on that shit all day. Uniform, like, you know, small to microscopic kind of bubbles from top to bottom. Burps are in tow. And, yeah, it's got this nice haze to it. It's slightly kind of like you took the saturation down a little bit on it, but it definitely looks a part of a nice, light kind of hazy. See if we get a nose through this big head. I'm going to tell you what, it smells pretty freaking awesome. Yeah, it's got this tropical fruit, grapefruit, pineapple thing going on that has me kind of really excited for it. I mean, you're talking about a 3-month-old IPA, but it's from the brewery, so chances are it's been cold from day one. It smells pretty nice. Now, there is a slight flabby characteristic to it. I'm not necessarily saying I'm getting diacetyl on there, but when I smell that slight flabby thing underneath all tropical fruits, every now and then when I get in a taste, there might be a little bit of diacetyl in there. But it's nice. There's a super bright green component to it. Almost like a light... It's not grass. It's not pine. I mean, they talked about West Coast vibes on there. So that's what I think I'm getting. But it's lighter than pininess. But it's like a pininess, but lighter than grass. I don't know where I'm getting that one from. Yeah, I like that. Curious. Let's dive in. Cheers. It's fine. Yeah, it's tasty, light, drinkable, fluffy. There's not a huge fruity taste to it, or even a big bittering component to it. Comes off light, comes off airy. It's not necessarily a New England style IPA because there is a decent bittering portion to it. And that bittering portion definitely comes off a little bit more piney than that green led me to believe in the nose. But even that fruit portion of the show, that pineapple, which is dominant in the nose, which is actually the lead thing in the actual taste, and drops that kind of melon characteristic a little bit. It comes off more like a pineapple turnover, kind of like a reduced pineapple, like a cooked pineapple, to where it's lost its oomph and acidity, but then it's chilled, so it's not like warm. That would be weird. I think this beer was probably way more vibrant and way more fantastic when it was fresher. So that's probably like the most bummery part of it, because I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not a date Nazi when it comes to beers. I think the fact that this beer is tasty, delicious, and there's really not much as negativity, that assumption of diacetyl from the nose, that flabbiness doesn't exist at all in the taste whatsoever. So that's just me making that shit up in my brain, or just that smell has something to go with it, but it's not there in the taste. So that's pretty. Is that this beer held up? There's nothing negative to it, but it's definitely lost a little bit of zip on its fastball. You can tell that happened. But kudos to them for having the balls to send it off. You know, even like, you know, breweries send like older stuff. It's kind of weird, but I don't take it as in like the breweries like doesn't know what the hell they're doing. I view it as like they're like, hey, this beer is still drinking great. Let's send it off, and that's kind of a testament to the stability and longevity of the beers, which is a really good thing, because you're talking about, this is a very light, a very delicate, for lack of a better word, hazy. I mean, it's not super rough and tough, which is kind of weird because that's kind of Philly's MO. So it's very light, very airy, very delicate. And it's still stable. It hasn't developed anything overtly negative. It's like I said, lost a little bit on its zip, a little zip on its fastball. And still a tasty beer. I don't know. I want to reserve judgment on this beer for a freshie. Someday I'll try this fresh and I'll say I'll report back, but I never will. But I think this is nice, and I'm really, really curious to see what this drank like on draft at the brewery, like within the first month of releasing, because I think it might have had a little bit of chutzpah on it. There's some fucking PA for you, chutzpah, a little polka goodness. And yeah, it's a tasty beer. Listen, as I said from the get, you know, more often than not, brew pubs, not that they can't make great beer. Some of the greatest brewers came out of brew pubs. That was the old way of doing things, but it still exists, obviously, as that's what Iron Hill does. But they do a really good job of their beers. Like I've been epically surprised at most of the beers they've sent off to me, and while this might be my least favorite of the group, it's a testament to how tasty the other ones were, because I actually don't mind this beer. I like this beer quite a bit. The other ones had a little bit more to it, and I'm kind of excited. They sent off a big old hazy, like a 9 and change hazy, but they sent off a Belgian triple, and that's kind of where I think they're kind of really, they do everything as you would expect from a homebrew place. Jesus Christ, sorry, I apologize. A old brew pub place, which I was going to say usually leans a little bit heavier into homebrew tendencies, classic BJCP style breweries. And I'm kind of curious to see how that triple comes off. I just got to be in the mood to drink a Belgian triple, which is not every day, let's put it that way. So, yeah. Tasty stuff. So let's talk about it. It's one of the better IPAs I've had as late. Not really. I mean, it's not out, it's not in, it's kind of floating around. Again, like I said, at its freshest, it's probably an infinitely zippier, infinitely more robust beer. But where it sits now, 3 months later, delicate beer holding up like this, that's impressive in and of itself. Value and availability, no idea. People who know, let me know. And leave you with, if you like what we like this beer. If you like chuggers, man. I mean, this is a really drinkable, well done IPA, and like I said, if you can get this as fresh, new, it's probably going to be up a lot of people's alleys, because I could see it. Obviously, it's going to be better. You know, that's kind of how these hazies roll. But yeah, I'm telling you, don't sleep on this brewery. Every now and then, like, you know, if you want something really well done, if you see this on the shelf, and I assume you can get these on the shelf, it's tasty stuff, man. Yeah, I don't say a lot about these old you know, brew pub models. Yeah, some of the best that do it that way. Let's put it that way. So there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers. If you want to see me doing the whole social media stuff, Beer Massif. If you want to see me doing the whole podcasting thing, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of Iron Hill right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers.